Bismillah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Continuing the previous talk on hadith and introduction, as I was saying that our first order of classification then concerns liability. Here we have three categories: Sahih, that's sound; Hasan, that's good; and Zaif, that's weak. The first of these, as Sahih, is a report going back to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, all the narrators of which were people of outstandingly good character, who had excellent memories, and who reported exactly what they heard without interpolations or omissions. There will be no breaks or gaps in the asanid of such hadith, and it will not contradict any stronger reports. The second degree of reliability is known as Hasan, that's good. This is an account whose original source is unknown, but whose narrators are all sound, reliable people, none of whom has been accused of falsehood. A Hasan account is accepted by most scholars and may be used as legal evidence to support a ruling. The last degree of reliability is called Zaif, that's weak. This falls short of Sahih and Hasan accounts on one or more points. For example, a hadith may be declared weak if one of its narrators is a person of questionable character, had a poor memory, or reported what he heard inaccurately. Alternately, it may contain grammatical mistakes, contradict other reports, or contain mysterious breaks or omissions in its isnad. Finally, we should also mention the mawzu narration or invented hadith. This is a false report about the Prophet, about the companions, or about the first generation of the Muslims. Besides assessing reliability, scholars also categorize ahadith in other ways. One of these is by the number of accounts or riwayat there are of any single report. Here, there are only two categories: mutawatir, meaning multiple, and ahad, meaning solitary. A mutawatir hadith comes from several independent sources. Some scholars insist that there must be at least 5 of these. Others require 7. Still others require 10 or 12. Each mutawatir account serves to confirm the other and may be used as proof of their mutual and collective reliability. There are two kinds of mutawatir hadith. The first includes ahadith that are identical with one another word for word. Within this group only, the asanid are different. The second includes ahadith that have the same meaning but are expressed in slightly different ways. The first of these is called lafzi, literal, while the second is called ma'nawi, semantic. Hadith accounts that fail to satisfy the conditions of mutawatir hadith are always categorized as ahad or solitary accounts. There are three subclasses of ahadith. These are called mashhur, well-known, aziz, mashhur, well-known, aziz, rare, and garib, unusual. Another way scholars assess ahadith is by the earliest person to whom an account can be attributed. Here we have three categories: marfu, taken up, that is to say to the Prophet; mawquf, stopped or attributable to a companion; and finally maqtu, cut off, that is to say not attributable to anyone before the first generation of the Muslims. The scholars are unanimous that the authority of the Quran is binding on all Muslims. The authority of the Prophet comes next only to the Quran. His authority is not derived through community's acceptance of Prophet as a person of authority. Rather, his authority is expressed through divine will. During this discourse, we are going to learn the literal and technical meanings of hadith. We will be also able to comprehend the etymological variations of hadith, and finally, the importance of hadith in Islam will be figured out. Friends, lexically speaking, the word hadith, whose plural is ahadith, is new, recent, existing newly, for the first time, not having been before, information, a piece of information, intelligence, an announcement, a thing or matter that's talked of, told or narrated. In both the Quran and the Hadith, the word has been used in reference to a religious communication, a story of a general nature, a historical story, and a current story or conversation. In early days of Islam, the stories and communications of the Prophet, ahadith, dominated all other kinds of communications. So this word began to be used almost extensively for the narration about or from the Prophet. As far as ahadith we know, according to the etymology, it means something new. Some scholars state that etymologically, sunnah is for what is performed and what is decided, whereas ahadith is for what is said. According to language, the word sunnah means a way or pursuit, whether commendable or appalling. When it's called sunnatullah, this means the laws of Allah, His commands and prohibitions explained to mankind. Now let's move towards the relationship between Sunnah and Hadith.